everybody. Thank you for sticking around after the break from Table Ticks. And we are back with another, and I believe our last live info stream about Gencon Online. So we want to revisit and just go over
because it's next week.
Because it is next week. Less than next week. It is 6 days away.
It is technically less than next week.
Yep. So we wanted to just give everyone an overview again. If you have any questions from the previous overview, or if you're just joining us now, or you're just finding out about Gencon Online, or you're still confused about something, that's what we're here for. I am joined by Syra Benedict, our operations manager at Gencon.
Hello.
And Kelsey, I realize I've never actually pronounced your last name. So would you like me to try, or would you like me to just tell me what it actually is?
One of my joys in life is seeing how people choose to say my last name. So I'm going to bestow upon you the opportunity, and then I'll let you know your success rate.
All right. So Kelsey Desrosiers.
Okay. All right.
Okay. They are our.
No way, that's right.
They are our online community manager. They have not corrected me, so it stands as canon, as how it is pronounced.
It's canon now, I guess. It's canon. It's funny because if you, so my last name is extremely French, if you did not realize that. And the way it's pronounced, like stateside, is very different from Canada and France. And so I sound way cooler if I'm in a European country versus how people say it here. But the way it is pronounced amongst my family, get ready for how mundane and awful this sounds. DeRozier. It's bad. DeRozier.
I was gonna go with like DeRossier or something.
DeRossier is how it would be pronounced if we were in Europe or Canada. So for all of our European and Canadian attendees, you have my permission. You may use your native tongue to make my language and my name sound way cooler.
Okay, I'm going with DeRossier forever.
Okay, I'm into it.
DeRossier.
However, on Twitch, Desrosiers.
It's the Twitch canon.
So, why don't we actually get to what everyone is here for, which is probably not wondering why there are so many letters in names that don't sound like that in French.
I know, right?
Because clearly English is right? Anyway, Gencon Online next week, in case you haven't gotten all the memos, is an online convention. Let me bring up the home page. So Marcus, we can kind of cut to that. This is our landing page for Gencon Online. If you are trying to figure out what's involved, what you can do, things like that, this is where you're probably going to be spending a lot of your time initially. It has a lot of links that we're going to go through as kind of the different pillars of the online convention experience. You can go to gencon.com and click on Gencon Online at the top. You can also go to the always clever URL of gencon.online and it will take you straight there.
So many options.
And there's going to be a lot of information here, a lot of facts, a lot of links. So you are welcome to bring this up on your own browser and follow along at home.
It's a learning experience.
So, anything else that either of you want to say about Gencon Online as a whole before we start getting into key kind of components?
You got anything, Sarah?
Nope, let's do it.
All right, I'm ready for Gencon. I mean, I've been ready for Gencon Online for weeks, but now I'm ready to talk about it. Let's go.
Ready? So you're all done? Everything's prepped? No more work?
Oh yeah, totally ready to go. Yep.
Sure. Okay. Well, so just the very basic information we should probably share with everybody about Gencon Online before we go into some of the key components is that first, it's all online. Second, badges are free, so it's not going to cost you anything. If you're going to do anything related to Gencon Online, we heartily encourage you to get a badge because please. It is required if you want to participate in any events, even though those events are free. You're supposed to get a badge. If you don't have a badge, you can't get tickets. And second, it just lets us know how many people are interested in an online convention experience. So it's going to be very, very helpful for us to know in the future if we have a real gauge of how many people want to do online shows, who those people are, what kind of things they engage with, because we actually do look at all that information of who plays what games, who goes where, who engages in what, to figure out what we should do with those things moving forward.
Yeah. And it helps us know too, to make sure that we're prepared for the traffic on Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Because, we've got magic things we can do to help make sure that our website can support everybody hanging out on it. And if we expect 25,000 people, we can be prepared for that. And then if 80,000 show up, that can be different. So, so do get that badge and let us know that you're going to be part of Gen Con Online so that we can be ready for you.
A lot of you have already reached out to us or reached out to me via Facebook or Twitter and talked about how excited you have been to be able to go to Gen Con for the first time because it is online. So we want to make sure if this is something you want to keep seeing, if you want to be able to come see your Gen Con buds in a digital space, please let us know. Please register for a badge. Please talk to us because we want you to be there.
So badges are free, but not all events are. So Gen Con is unlike a lot of other conventions. If you're not familiar with Gen Con or Origins or other kind of very gaming focused shows, Gen Con's a little bit different in that you buy a badge to attend, or you get a badge in this case that's free to attend. And then there's a variety of events. For Gen Con Online, we have over 6,000 different events, all of which, or almost all of which, you can get individual tickets to reserve your seat. So there's no, at the physical show, there's no waiting in line or anything like that. For an online show, you don't have to sit at your computer to wait to find out if you got into a game. If you got a ticket, you're in. Many of those events have a ticket price. Not all of them do. There are plenty of free events that are gameplay, or free events that are Twitch streams or seminars or a variety of different stuff. So go look to see what's there. And if you do end up registering for events, then that revenue is often split between the people running the game and Gen Con. And for Gen Con Online this year, we are taking all the revenue from our base price that we would normally keep. And after we have accounted for processing fees and stuff like that, we're donating all that revenue to a charity, I Need Diverse Games, which does a lot of work in both tabletop games and in video games to champion and kind of advance diversity, both in terms of what we see in the game, but also in terms of who creates and engages with those games. So
it's a great organization. Like, I was checking them out earlier today. They also have some really wonderful articles on how diversity affects our games. They have some Patreon. They have a podcast that they're running right now too. They're a wonderful organization. So if you're unfamiliar with them, I highly encourage you to check them out. We have now posted the link to I Need Diverse Games in our Twitch stream. So definitely take a look if you haven't yet, because our wonderful revenue is headed to those guys, and they definitely deserve it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they're going to be able to do with it. So that's, from a very, very high level, that's kind of what you do. You get a free badge, maybe buy a couple tickets, or just get free tickets. And then there's a bunch of things that you can engage with. So why don't we start to dive into those? And I might be biased because I'm on the events team, but events is one of these big, huge pieces of this online iceberg. So why don't we go into that first? Which of you would like to tell us about events?
Talk about it. So if you're on our kind of Gen Con Online landing page here, there's a couple different links that you'll want to go to. One is that events how-to right there. And that's going to take you to our wonderful events tome of knowledge, which I always feel like should have a big echo voice when you say it.
And this is animated text.
Yeah. So this will give you kind of all the information that you need about how to participate in events at Gen Con Online. So really important to remember that Gen Con in person and Gen Con Online is an event with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of little events within it. 6,000 in this case for Gen Con Online. So this will tell you how to participate in that. It'll give you kind of some good keys on if you're running into issues with, logging on to different platforms or whatever. So, because a lot of these, all of our events are run by other people. So they could be gaming companies, they could be publishers, they could be gaming groups, they could be just your neighbor, Betty Smith, who wants to teach everybody how to knit. She could be running an event. Who knows? Could be anybody. Could be you. So 6,000 events here. This tome of knowledge will give you all you need to know about participating in events. And then you'll also want to click on that little find events there on the left, and that will take you to our event finder, where you can look for all the wonderful kind of events that you might want to do.
I will say too that a lot of folks who have already signed up for events have come to us with many questions on how to contact their GMs, how to get information in this digital age. And I am happy to say that Syra has you prepared. That event Tombs of Knowledge has everything you need to know to contact your GM and make sure you have all the details before you go play. So make sure to check that out. It has been a really useful tool for us. And I saw someone asking about if game sessions are already filled. They definitely aren't. There is so many games left. There is so much cool content out there. Earlier today during Gen Con News, I was highlighting some of the cool events I saw coming up. And there is stuff that I'm going to have to go look at. So you're going to have to beat me to the punch on some of the cool actual play stuff and seminars that I'm seeing. Definitely still take a look.
There are lots of events that are sold out, but there are also lots that are not sold out. So why don't I actually show real quick? There's a pretty easy way to filter that out. So this is just the find event page. So you can see that, like, right here, there's a fair amount of stuff that's sold out. You can see if you just don't want to see that because you don't want to be excited about a thing that you can't play. If you click on the gear, you can just click have sold out and it will no longer show events that are sold out. If you're during the show, if you're also wondering like, hey, what's happening now? And you don't want to hear about events from yesterday or something like that, you can also just click events that have already happened, click submit. And now this will just be a list of events that still have one or more tickets available so that you can go in and you know that you're not going to be sad because you only found out about something too late.
There are so many. There are so many.
So many. Oh, and there's beginning ballroom dancing right there. It's my favorite.
I can learn how to ballroom dance?
Sure can.
Man.
Thursday, noon Eastern. Learn how to waltz in your living room.
Sarah always brings up the ballroom dancing.
I do. They're my favorite.
That's so cool. I have always been intimidated by that, but it seems less intimidating when it's in your own living room.
Yeah. There you go. Derek and I did a video a few weeks ago that really was a deep dive into events and how to register for events and how to find events and how to use all the different filter tools and search tools. So if you're looking at this and you're feeling like you need a little bit more guidance in that, you can find that on our YouTube channel and give that a watch. And Derek and I will walk you through how to find exactly what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another question that came up in chat was whether it is too late to submit an event.
Oh, that's a good question.
And I would say that generally, yes. Our deadline to submit events to guarantee that we would have a chance to review it before Gen Con Online happens was July 20th. So you're past that at this point. You can still submit it, but honestly, it's really just going to boil down to whether or not the events team has an opportunity to take a look at it. And you might be better served just running there or trying to run a pickup game, grabbing players from our Discord, which we can talk about when we get to our Discord. The one exception that I would say is that if you want to run a game where you see all the current sections of it are sold out, that is in very, very high demand, if you submit the event and then email events@gencon.com to let us know that all the tickets for this game have sold out, I'd love to volunteer to run another session so more people can play it. We can try to focus and kind of expedite on those to maximize the number of people who can sit down to play something. But we just can't guarantee what we'll have the time to do at this point.
Because it's just 6 days.
Yeah, and our events team has been working at an incredible pace to make sure that everything gets done. I have been receiving emails from the team at 3 a.m. sometimes, and all I can do is put in a GIF telling them to go to bed.
So, that is the time of the night where we are actually able to get to our emails. So.
I know, right?
Yeah, I am definitely gazing longingly at the backyard and just imagining what it will be like when we have a time where we are not constantly exhausted from trying to pull this off and can just not do anything. We'll see what that's like if it ever arrives.
Someday in the future, we can dream.
Yeah. So the other thing that I would say about events is if you have gotten tickets to some events, if you registered previously for stuff, now is a good time, over the next week is a good time for you to go back and double check your schedule. Make sure that nothing's changed with your event, that it hasn't changed to a different time. Double check the requirements for the event. If you need to prepare a deck, if you need to make a character, if you need to be familiar with the rules or something like that, the next couple of days are going to be, one of your last chances to do that before you are in the chaos of the moment of the convention, which is not usually a good time to, be reading up the rules or whatever else you need to do. So prepare for your game now, double check your schedule, and then get excited. And if any of the games that you've signed up for still have space in them, share those with your friends. Invite some of them to come play with you to fill those games up so that they're going to be, maximum fun when it's actually time to hit the road.
That's our goal for Gen Con Online, is maximum fun. I think I've seen a lot of people advertising their games to friends too on Twitter. There's a ton of people who are asking questions about like who's running games, who's doing cool things on Twitter, who's telling me, like, tell me about what you're doing. It's a really great place to check out and try and find more people for your games, or share the games you're playing. A lot of people have been sharing their schedule so they can try and entice more gaming friends over to Gen Con Online.
Mm-hmm. So it's also worth noting that a lot of the events we have aren't games. A lot of them are games. A lot of them are streams about games. But, like Syra was showing you, there's ballroom dancing, there's crafting, there's miniatures painting, there's a wide variety. If I go to the search page, you can see here, we have categories, and the categories cover, anime events, board games, video games, films, all kinds of stuff. It looks like we still have one LARP that is determined to figure out a way to run online.
There is one LARP that is not sold out,
Correct.
Which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me that, like, as someone who came from a LARP profession before Gen Con, that we can all sell out LARPs online now. That's awesome. So if you want to go try a LARP online, now's your chance.
Yep. The other LARPs are all sold out. So there are a lot of different kinds of events. If you are interested in something, check it out. Share what you're registering for with other folks. And I hear that you, Kelsey, like to hear what people are excited about on Twitter.
Oh my gosh,
so
I
share it with
super
you.
do. There's also a huge amount of games that are in other languages. So if English is not your native language, or you speak another language, the amount of games and workshops and seminars and panels that are happening in other languages is really big. And everyone's doing some super cool stuff. Earlier today, I saw many of our Brazilian Portuguese players are running a panel talking about diversity in writing RPGs, which I'm excited about. I wish I spoke Portuguese so I could go. So you can find those games, as Derek is showing you now, by searching the language that you're looking for. So he just put in Portuguese, and please look at the amount of Portuguese games that are up right now.
Yep.
These guys are doing some
Yeah, it's really
stuff.
cool. That's one of the things that we're really excited about. That is a unique opportunity for Gen Con Online, because we don't usually have a whole lot of events happening in other languages when we're in Indianapolis. But with Gen Con Online, we've got events in Portuguese, in Spanish, in French, in Russian. Do make sure when you're looking at the time of an event, note that all times listed are in Eastern time. So if you're seeing some that start at 3 o'clock in the morning, know that that is 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern. So if you are joining us from somewhere else in the world, it may not be 3 in the morning for you. So keep an eye on that as you're building your schedule.
Now, for the games that are in languages other than English, the one tricky one is Spanish. For whatever reason, you need to search for it with parentheses, and then your results will come up.
That's a good tip. I didn't know that.
Yep. That's why if you search, well, at least when we were doing it before with Syra, if you search for Spanish, not a whole lot comes up. But if you add the parentheses, everything
then
comes
they're
up.
all there.
Oh, hot tips with Derek.
Yep, but French, Portuguese, and Russian should all work normally.
Cool.
All right, so maybe the last thing for events is if you sign up for an event, let me go into an event and I'll kind of show you where it's going to be. But, when you're signed into an event over here where you would get tickets, 30 minutes before the event begins, a button will show up that says give ticket to event host.
All right.
So if you have a ticket, please remember to just go to the event details page and turn it into the event host so that we know you were there ready to play. It lets us know that you're ready to go. It also lets us know how many people actually showed up for that GM's event so that in the future or, future Gen Con Onlines or future physical Gen Cons, we have a sense of how many people bought tickets, free or not, but also how many people then actually followed through to show up to turn in those tickets and participate in that event. Because that's something else that we track when we try to figure out what needs more attention, what needs more focus, what needs more space. But I think
our
that's about
events. I just want to mention real quick that events are utilizing a lot of different platforms. So make sure that you're aware of what platform your event is being hosted on. So some events are happening on Zoom, some of them are happening on Roll20, Tabletop Simulator, all sorts of different ones. So you'll want to make sure that you note that on your events so that you can make sure that you have that platform ready to go. And then we have a lot of information here that Derek is showing on the different third-party platforms. And we've also done some informational stream videos on these different platforms. So if you're signing up for a lot of events that are on Tabletop Simulator and you've never used Tabletop Simulator, you might want to find, I'm assuming we did a video on Tabletop Simulator.
We did.
So you might want to go to our YouTube channel and find that video, get an idea of how that works. Check out the third-party platform link here. And then also there will be representatives from a lot of those different platforms hanging out on our Discord server next week. And so if you've got some specific questions, you can head there and get some help too.
Yeah, so I'm posting some of these links here, like the best practices link I just posted in chat. And there's also the kind of general list of platforms that we recommend. A lot of this you can also just find online if you go to that platform, but it's very much a case of if you need an account, if you need to install something, if you need to update something, that is what you should be doing over the next week, not 30 minutes before your event begins.
Yeah,
it's a bad time to install software.
Lil Louis very helpfully linked our YouTube playlist that has all of those on there. So you can be sure to take a look at that. I know I have to brush up on a couple of them because I'm very used to using like Roll20, but something like Tabletop Simulator is new to me. So I'll be checking that out before Gen Con too.
Yep. Yeah, those videos we went through them to try to give people some sense of what a platform is like, so that it wasn't an intimidating unknown. That you had some idea of what it's like, and you can decide if you want to try out, sign up for an account, play a game or two, see what it's like. Or maybe you're just like, no, I'm not interested in that one. I'll focus on this other platform.
Yep. Do we have events for kids?
We do not, not specifically. So you have to be 13 years or older to register for an event. If you are a parent or guardian of a child, you can, there's a limited number of events that are for families to do together, where you might sign up with your kid to play a game with the child, but they can't get an account or a badge or a ticket themselves.
That will also go for Discord as well, just for internet safety. We are not allowing anyone under the age of 13 to participate in our Discord as well.
So those kiddos safe.
Another question that came up was whether there are any generic tickets. And because everything is electronically ticketed, and you can return your ticket whenever you need to, and buy a ticket for another specific event whenever you need to. There are no generics for Gen Con Online. You just register for the event that you want to register for, and you don't need to sign up for it until you know you're going, unless you're worried about it selling out. Anything else that we want to cover for events right now? I think we've hit a lot of it.
I think that's it. Just make sure you keep checking into events because, like I said, the events team has been working very hard to make sure that everything is getting up on there. I know they're adding new stuff in every day, and there's a lot of events. Also, be sure to check to see if an event you wanted to go to that was sold out previously might have tickets now, too. If people return tickets that they aren't going to be able to use, those get added back in. So if there was something you really had your hopes set on that got sold out, go check it out now because there might be tickets available now.
All right, why don't we move on to show highlights? If anybody does have any other questions about events, just let us know in chat and we'll kind of loop back around later to address them. But what about show highlights?
We have a lot of them. I don't, Sarah, do you know a ton about the Exposure Playtest Hall? That is not my area of expertise, but I would love to hear more.
So definitely take a look at the show highlights area. And this is going to show you some of the kind of big program stuff we've got going on. For those of you who are familiar with the indie show, we have a First Exposure Playtest Hall where game designers who have new games that have not been published yet, they're just in playtest status, come and you can go play test those games and help those designers make their games awesome. And we are bringing that online. So we will have First Exposure Playtest online, and there will be various events and games that are part of this program that you can sign up for. So if you're, if you want to see what next year's hot game might be, or 2 years or 3 years from now's hot game might be, you can be part of making that game happen. So that's a super exciting part of Gen Con. We also have a costume contest that is, submissions for that are closed, but you'll definitely want to tune in to see who the winners of this year's costume contest are going to be. I'm really excited to see what people's costumes are looking like when they're not restricted by what they can get on an airplane or what.
I think the finalists are getting announced early this week, next week rather. That way voting can happen and you can vote on your favorite costume. So we can see the winners will be announced on Twitch during the convention, which I am very excited about as a huge cosplay nerd. Did you know, here's a fun Kelsey fact, that my first ever cosplay was the weighted companion cube from Portal. I was a 6 foot by 6 foot cube rolling around a convention.
All right.
Rolling? Not just like flopping?
Oh no, I rolled. I was very well structured.
Yeah, and so the Costume Contest Award Show is an event in the system that you can get a ticket to add to your schedule to make sure that you remember to go to it.
The other piece that is in our show highlights that is beloved, that we are still continuing on Gen Con Online, is the Film Festival, which is in partnership with the Fantasy Network. We are still having our award ceremony. It's going to be on Twitch. There'll also be some panels, some events, and we have a whole community network in Discord for you to discuss all of the films that are being brought up, and also a section to discuss the First Exposure Playtest Hall and the costume contest. There's going to be community hubs for all of that in Discord for you to still talk about your favorite parts of the con.
Yeah, all the films for the film festival this year will be available to stream for free on the Fantasy Network. It's a really exciting partnership we have with them this year. So from Thursday through Sunday next week, you can get on the Fantasy Network and you can check out all of the films that were submitted for the film festival this year. So along with a lot of different film events happening.
The Film Festival Award winners is also its own event that you can get tickets to. But the film category in general has panels about script writing, filming, a lot of behind-the-scenes production stuff. So if you are curious about making films, there's a lot of panels here that you can sign up for. Take notes in and connect with some of the presenters afterward.
Yeah, someone just, Lil Louie just pointed out in chat, we have over 65 films this year. That's crazy. You could just fill it with your whole Gen Con weekend with just films.
Yeah.
That is kind of the magical nature of Gen Con.
Some people do. Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick some sliver of Gen Con or sliver of the gaming community and just fill your weekend with that thing.
I don't think that's killing my weekend. I think that's making my weekend very exciting.
That's what I love about Gen Con is it's almost in a lot of ways like many conventions happening at once in the same place. It is way too large for any one person to do, let alone be aware of. Even the events team, we're always finding some thing tucked in the corner that we just, is news to us because one of us looked at it and nobody has a full view of everything that happens at Gen Con. Yeah, it's a thing you just immerse yourself in and kind of experience.
I sure do try.
Yeah, every time is a new adventure at Gen Con, I feel like. And every time I think I know everything that's going on, I get pinged by someone in the community who's like, I'm going to this cool thing. And I'm like, I had no idea this was happening. That's awesome.
So then finally, I think the show highlight we want to touch on too is Twitch. So you're on Twitch right now, so you're clearly aware of Gencon TV, or you're watching us on YouTube and you weren't, so you should be, so please join us. But we will have 3 channels running 10 a.m. Eastern to midnight Eastern, pretty much all weekend. A little bit later on Thursday, a little bit earlier on Sunday, but on those 3 channels, Gencon TV is mainly going to be focused on like entertainment events, live plays, actual games, people playing games, being entertaining. You'll see some of your favorites that you've seen at other events, or some of your favorite podcasters or streamers and stuff like that. On Gencon main stage, that's where a lot of previews, interviews, demos, unboxings, things like that from some of our key partners and sponsors. People who have a new game to show off, basically. That's where most of those are going to be. And then finally, on Gencon Studio, most of the time, that is going to be dedicated to Board Game Geek, who is going to be running through as many new games as they can, all of which I believe will be available for purchase in our store.
He's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yep. I think they're trying to hit 2 companies or games per hour.
Wow.
They're going to go through as many as they can. And so those categories are also not
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's probably a game for that, actually. So those categories or those general divisions are not exact, because of scheduling, because of overflow. We had so many events that people wanted to do. There's going to be a little bit of a flow back and forth. All the events will be in the registration system, so you should make sure to get tickets to what you want, but make sure to follow all 3 channels, or alternatively, what you can do is go to Twitch. Here's a pro Twitch hack for you. You go to twitch.tv/team/Gencon.
Eric's laying down all the wisdom today.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm learning.
So if you go to that page, you can see all 3 of our channels at once. And this is also the thing where you can see the amusing kind of infinite recursion.
See us in infinity.
Whoa, infinity. Infinity me is very powerful.
So that's a good way to kind of keep up with everything that's happening online. But try to follow all the channels so you know when we're going live, stuff like that. Any other show highlights you'd like to share?
We will be, I don't think it's on that show highlights page yet, but we will have an opening ceremonies, just like we do at the show, to kind of get things started. So Thursday, noon Eastern, on that Twitch Gencon TV channel, you're going to want to tune in and see the opening ceremonies. And I'm not going to promise that it's exactly like the Olympics opening ceremonies, but
should I carry a torch? Should I carry a torch into the Twitch stream?
Please do. That would be awesome. But we will be there. People who you know and love from opening ceremonies in Gencon Indy will be there, and we will be getting the party started all together. So noon Eastern on Thursday, Gencon TV on Twitch. Come hang out with us to get the show started.
We've got a pretty cool surprise to share with everybody then too that I'm very excited about.
Oh man.
And I suspect that other nerds will be excited about too.
Yup.
So, what about Project Looking Glass? Which one of you would like to tell us about Looking Glass?
Please let me.
Go for it.
All right. And the reason I'm so excited about this is that our team just got the first kind of real big hints into Looking Glass today. And I can genuinely say it's really, really cool. I am so excited for what Looking Glass is doing. So all of you remember, and all of us know the experience of first walking into that vendor hall and seeing all the signs, all the hubbub, all the human beings everywhere. It is a literal galaxy of potential vendors. And guess what? We are trying to replicate that as best as we possibly can for Gencon Online. So many of your favorite exhibitors, vendors, artists, authors are all going to be here for Gencon Online. And you're going to be able to access them via the Looking Glass. The Looking Glass will have a lot of images of new products. It will have links to their websites, links to certain events that companies are hosting. It'll basically give you kind of like a little insight into what their plans are for the weekend. So if there's a company you really love, or an artist you really love, or an author you really love, you can check out if they're offering any specials. You can see if they're doing any events, any seminars, anything, and then follow along with them way easier than you potentially could walking into the vastness of the vendor hall at Gen Con and trying to find something. So I think this is going to provide a unique opportunity to support a lot of our favorite small businesses, our artists, our friends who might not have the usual revenue they would get from the physical Gen Con, and also
other conventions.
Yeah, really. And also let people find a lot of things that were new to them. So I am really excited about what Looking Glass is doing. You'll be able to get to Looking Glass from our main page, from our hub. It is not out yet, but it will be out for Gen Con, and believe me, we will be talking about it loud and proud when it does, because it is hella cool.
Thursday at noon Eastern.
I was going to say, we're launching it when the show opens, right?
Yeah, we're launching it Thursday noon.
And I haven't seen the current iteration of it, but it's a zoomable like series of tiles that you can navigate and pan around and whatnot. Like, honestly, the description I've heard so far reminds me most of what people thought that like the internet or VR would be like in the future. Where you just have all these tiles that you're kind of swimming through. So
I want to know what it would be like if we could do a VR version of that and just like zoom across like the Looking Glass galaxy. That'd be cool as hell. I
have a feeling that we would probably need to have some buckets on the side for some people who have trouble with VR. So next on the agenda was Twitch, but I think we actually covered a lot of that when we talked about the show highlights.
Yeah.
So just to reiterate,
let's talk about. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean,
I was going to say, let's talk. Derek, go.
To reiterate, we have 3 channels. It's twitch.tv/GenConTV, which is what you're on now if you're watching it on Twitch. There's GenCon Main Stage, and there's GenCon Studio. All of those are all one word. They should be linked off of the page that you're on right now. So just go make sure that you follow them, or you can go to twitch.tv/team/GenCon if you want to get an interface to kind of see all of them at once.
Mm-hmm.
Syra, why don't you go?
I would like to talk about the Gen Con game store, if I may.
Oh, please do.
So this is a thing that I'm really excited about this year, because this is going to be your one-stop shop for all the new games. We have partnered with a distribution company and a bunch of publishers who are going to bring all their new games directly to the Gen Con game store. So if you just want to know what's new, where can I find everything new in one place, that's where you can go, and you can just shop to your heart's content right there. Mm-hmm. And that will be open all weekend, so you'll be able to look at games, see what's new, and then maybe you want to go to Looking Glass and be like, oh, this game looked cool, I want to go see what that publisher's up to because I've never heard of them. And then you can go to Looking Glass and find that publisher and talk with them, and you can just have a whole experience. So the Gen Con game store is for sure where I will be spending some time, because my poor little son is so sad that we had to cancel our physical convention. He was like, Mama, that means I'm not going to get any new games.
Oh no, don't worry. You're still going to get games.
Yeah, and I just had to be like, don't worry.
You definitely told him
sweet
games
little
were canceled
5-year-old.
this year, right?
Yeah, I was like, there's no more new games.
Yep,
no, after being home for the last 5 months, we desperately need some new games. So I will be in the Gen Con game store for sure, seeing what new games are available that we can play, because we need some new stuff up in this house for sure.
As an aside, I'm not sure if you saw, but on Table Takes earlier today, we were talking about the Spiel des Jahres Awards. And the Kinderspiel, which is the game for kids, the one that won that, I don't know if you saw, was Speedy Roll or Hedgehog Roll.
No.
And you apparently have this like Velcro hedgehog that you roll across some stuff, plushy things, and based on what it picks up is how you can move around the board. So
that's cool.
Apparently you should go check that out.
That sounds really cool.
100% I will check that out, because that sounds awesome.
That reminds me of like Katamari. Did you ever play Katamari Damacy? Like that's,
oh my god, I love that game.
That just gave me some good vibes. Oh, thank you. Yes, Fia is here for the stream. I don't know if she's actively here now, but she was here moments ago.
I think mine is, yeah. Well, no, you can see the top of Smash Mouth over there.
Little Smash Mouth.
So for the store, though, one thing that we probably should make sure that people know is that once you put something in your cart, that does not reserve that copy for you. So if there's anything that you think is going to sell out that you're at all worried about, make sure to add it to your cart and check out as soon as you have the opportunity to do so, to make sure that that's locked in for you. And then from what I understand, all the games will be shipping about 1 to 2 weeks after the convention. So you should still be getting them before most of them reach stores, but it won't be shipping immediately during the show.
Right. And a lot of the games that we are showing at the game store, or selling at the game store rather, will also be featured on Board Game Geek's stream on the Gencon Studio channel. So it's a great opportunity to have that kind of experience when you're wandering around a vendor hall and checking out people's new games. So make sure to check that out, because a lot of the stuff you'll be seeing for sale, if you don't know what it is, it's a great time to check it out.
So to hop back up our agenda, why don't we talk about what plans are for social media? And from what I understand, you're going to be the one kind of driving a lot of that, Kelsey?
I am. I live there. That's my home now. Welcome to my home. So I have been having a great time chatting with you guys on social media. I will be with you on Facebook. I will be with you on Twitter. I will be with you on Instagram. And we have 3 different hashtags that you can use to talk to us. One is the hashtag Gencon, hashtag Gencon Online, and the third one is hashtag Gencon Together. Gencon Together is kind of the we're apart but we're still together hashtag to talk about our experiences of how we can share our Gencon times from our own living room. And as you can see now, Derek is highlighting our tag board. So anytime you use those tags, it will start to fill our tag board, so you can share the things you're excited about, the moments you're excited about, the games you're excited about with our friends on this tag board. And I will be there talking to you guys too, talking about what you're excited about, and sharing all the cool things that you guys are finding too. I think your excitement is infectious. The excitement of our attendees is the thing that keeps me going. I adore it. I love it. So please get excited. Please talk to me about it so I can get excited with you and we can start sharing all the cool things we found. Look at this guy's costume. It's great.
Speaking of excitement and sharing it together, what about Discord?
Oh man, let me talk about Discord. Someone already mentioned the Discord. I know there's been a couple questions about the Discord in already, so let me throw all the deets down to you right here about Discord. Our Discord is launching. Are you ready? Someone already said it, but I'm going to pretend no one said it already. Monday, the 27th, our Discord is going live. So you can start getting that hype ready as soon as possible. I think one of the things that people have been missing about the Gen Con experience of having a physical con is not being able to like get excited with their friends because we're all trapped in our houses. So we're going to use Discord to hype each other up. I want to hear about the things you're excited about. I want to hear about the panels that you're going to. And I want to hear about all the cool stuff that you have planned for Gen Con. And on that Discord, there's also going to be a bunch of different tools for you to use. You're going to be able to have help finding and registering for events. Our events team will be there to help you with any kind of issues that you're having during an event. There's also going to be platform-specific support. So as we were talking about earlier, if you're new to something like Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator or Roll20, many of those companies are putting representatives in our Discord to help you out. And also it's a community hub. So if someone has been using Roll20 for all of their lives in eternity, they will be able to provide you some kind of details that we might not have for you. So if you are an expert, be sure to share your wisdom there with us as well. We're also going to have the opportunity to do pickup games. I know that everybody loves that experience of like, if you don't have a something to fill an hour with at Gen Con, you can walk over to the tables and see what people are playing. You're still going to get the chance to do that. So let's say you don't have an event for 3 hours and you're like, oh, I want to run this cool game I just found. You have a spot where you can find other players, tag yourself as a GM or a player looking for a game, and be able to find other people to play games with. And then the other cool part we have is pin trading. I have talked a lot about pin trading in the past couple of Gen Con news because I love pins. I have a giant pin board You can't see it in my office, but it's there. And so if you love trading pins at Gen Con, you're still going to get the chance to do that there as well. Don't you worry, we got you covered. And someone earlier was asking about how we can report any incidents and how we can make sure that you're getting the help you need during your event if you have any problems. Don't worry, we also got you covered in that Discord too. We have active help channels to make sure that if you're having any issues in the event, we can continue to keep you as safe as possible, even if we are in a digital space.
Yeah.
So don't
and
worry.
like to drive that, to drive that home. That's not only like, if you need help with technical stuff, we'll provide what we can. People who are familiar with the platforms will also be in there, but that extends well beyond that. If you have a GM that you think is being problematic, if you have players that are being disruptive, and the GM isn't sure how to deal with them, or if you're a GM yourself and you just don't know like what the next step is, reach out to us and we will walk you through it as best we can. And we will make sure that you and your players are safe and happy, and can go back to Gen Con once we've dealt with the issue.
Yep. We believe strongly that gaming should be for everybody and everyone should have a place at the table. And part of that is ensuring that you guys are as safe as we can possibly make you. So make sure if you do have any issues, reach out to us. I have been coaching our moderator team on how to handle issues and how to interact with sensitive topics. So I know everyone's excited to help you. So feel free to reach out at any time. And if you have an idea about something we could do on the Discord, I see a couple of you that were in Gen Con news earlier, and we were talking about how cool it would be to have like a little food truck night where we all share like food truck food that we can't eat, or like have a beer together and just like share like selfies and talk about like a little social night because we can't all be at a bar together right now. That's ideas that I want to hear.
Yeah, I can't wait for. I would love it if a bunch of people used the Discord to pretend they were attending Gen Con, where they're like, oh, I gotta go get in line for the food truck, and here's the grilled cheese I got. Like,
it's the most Inception Gen Con experience of all time. I love that. But yeah, if you have ideas like that, please feel free to tag me at Gen_Con. I will be reading every idea you have because I love to hear them and I love to incorporate them. So feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, so even if you're thinking, Discord's not really my jam, that might be a part of Gen Con Online that I'm not super interested in, I would really encourage you to still look into it, sign up, get your Discord account, because that is going to be where you can find us for real-time assistance. Since we don't have we don't have a show office you can stop by. We don't have a help desk you can stop by in real life. You can always email customer service at gencon.com, but that's not necessarily going to be immediate feedback for you. So if there's anything that, if you have a question and it's not super time sensitive, please email us, customer service at gencon.com. We have that staffed and people will be answering your questions there. But if you need a lot quicker answer or you need immediate help with something, Discord is going to be where you're going to find us. So make sure that you've got that resource available to you.
Yep. And the thing I want to kind of reinforce about the Discord is when you take a convention online, it's a very, very different beast. And I think that you might not realize how important some of that connective tissue is to make you feel like you are part of an event that is larger than the individual table you are playing at. And you can absolutely attend Gen Con online and fill up your weekend and just deal with the registration system and only engage with the events that you're signed up for. And you can have a lot of fun with that. But if the feeling of walking through the halls and seeing other people around you, even if you're not interacting with them, even if you're not talking with them, but you like the sense that you are near the people who love some of the things that you love, the Discord is where that feeling is going to be replicated for Gen Con Online.
For sure. And I'm very excited to have those digital hallway conversations with many of you.
So one thing to note about that, if you're not used to Discord, I definitely recommend that you look at the mute options to manage things, just because there's going to be a lot of channels there. There's probably going to be a lot of topics. Don't feel guilty. Like, it's the same kind of thing of like any other inbox or social media that you have. Don't feel guilty if you prune it or control the notifications to the level you actually want to deal with. Like, if you're going in there and you do not care about a particular platform or topic, mute that channel, hide that channel, just so that it's not there kind of blaring at you. But engage with the ones that are there that do cover things that you're going to do over the weekend, so you feel like you're there with your friends and your strangers who could become friends.
Yep. I will say that you can see right now on the screen that Derek is showing a very tiny, sad Discord page on Gencon Online right now. And that's because I am in the process of filling it with a tutorial of how to use Discord and the tools you need to use to interact with it, especially if it is overwhelming for you or if this is your first time using Discord. So don't worry if it is. I will have a big, easy document for you to use to reference on how to interact with Gencon in a way that's best for you.
It was my first time using Discord like a week ago. So
yeah.
I've been collecting Discord servers for a while now, so I'm very liberal, very liberal with my muting.
Me too.
So you talked a little bit about pin trading, but what about merchandising in general?
Oh man, we've got merch.
My favorite part.
I know, me too. Every year at Gen Con, I go and spend too much money. Who's surprised? Not me. That's what I do when I go to Gen Con. And so we have two different avenues for you for merchandise that is Gen Con related. One is our specific off-world, like an official merch. So off-world is now making all of our shirts and our hoodies and our clothing and our accessories. And a couple of you on Twitter have been talking about how in the past the quality of the clothes you're getting from Gen Con is not that great. Guys, it's really good now. It's really, really good. As someone who is incredibly picky about the shirts that I wear and the hoodies that I wear and the clothing that I get, it is so soft. The print is not thick, and the quality on that stuff is incredible. So if you had a less than stellar experience with Gen Con merch in the past, please, I encourage you to give this a shot. If you see some designs that you like, go for it. The other thing I will say is that our merch team is really interested in other designs that appeal to you. Someone in an earlier stream mentioned workout clothes, like getting like moisture wicking workout clothes, which I am all about. I think that sounds super cool. Or someone else mentioned an all over.
Cool,
yeah.
It would cool you off.
Oh man. You're clever. And then someone else mentioned a all over print scarf with that dice pattern you see in the background of the screen. For one, I grabbed the hoodie and the Gen Con Pride shirt, and I basically live in them. I got them a week ago, and I've already had to wash them like 2 or 3 times because they're that soft. So that's one section with all our official merch. And then the other one is all of our merch that we work with other vendors on, but it's all Gen Con themed. So you can see at the top, there's that
Genevieve plushie.
Genevieve plushie. Oh, she's so good. I don't have her here. Kristen's got her, but she is adorable. She's like yay big, and her wings are totally flexible, and she can like sit on your shoulder and hang out. In addition to that, there's also a ton of cool custom dye that people are making for Gen Con. There is a candle that's being made, and then there is 2 different tea blends by Dryad Teas that look really, really good. There's playmats, there's dice towers, there's tons of stuff that is still Gen Con related that you can buy. There is a fez. I think there's actually multiple fez.
Fezzi?
Fezzes. Fezzi? I don't know. We might have invented a new word just now.
I think the dice are worth noting, particularly because I think when physical Gen Con was canceled and we went online, I think a lot of people were worried there wouldn't be the dice. And I know a lot of people like to kind of.
But there are dice.
There are dice.
Oh, there are dice.
You can just buy them straight up as a set, so you don't need to worry about trying to hunt down where to collect the individual dies. So there you go. I think the other thing that I want to call out is I haven't gotten one myself, but I keep hearing that the fleece, the big dragon fleece, is really, really nice.
Oh yeah, I have heard that too. Actually, we had a training session with our captains the other day, and someone actually had it in the background, and he was using it actually as a banner for his background stream. But he mentioned how difficult it was to stop his children from stealing it because it's so soft. So I've heard good things about that one as well.
Do we have the new 2020 just roll with it shirt in the?
I think it's on there.
That's my new favorite thing that we have. It's new. Maybe it's not on there. It's definitely on our off-world page, which if you click in this lookbook, it'll take you to our off-world merch page where you can actually order all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Cool
it's our
stuff.
New design for 2020, since we all kind of have to roll with it right now.
Yeah.
All right. What we talked about the store already. So why don't we talk about our charity partners?
So we have 4 different charity partners this year, I believe. 3 different charity partners, correct? Yep. So one we've already discussed, which is I Need Diverse Games. I Need Diverse Games is, again, working with diversity in gaming, a great organization, and I highly recommend you check them out. Trinity Haven, I believe you work with every year, right?
No, we pick different people every year. So Take This and Trinity Haven were our charity partners that we had already picked for Gen Con 2020.
Gotcha.
They'll continue to be our charity partners for 2021 since we didn't get to actually do all of the physical events to raise money for them that we usually do. So they'll be with us for a couple years, but typically we pick new charity partners every year. We like to, we like to pick ones who are either gaming related somehow in the industry or ones that are really doing great work in Indianapolis because we want to support our city, Indy. So Take This and Trinity Haven. You can read about them and all the cool work that they're doing and support them, and we'll be continuing to give them a lot of love through next year's show.
Yeah, I know. I have been really excited to work with our charities. I think a big part of Gen Con has always been giving back. And I want to emphasize that you still have the opportunity to give back. A lot of people are actually running charity streams and charity events for Gen Con Online. So you can actually look for those too if that's something that's important to you and you want to contribute to.
Yep.
All right, I think that covers the pillars of Gen Con Online. So why don't we remind everybody in chat that if you have any other questions that haven't been answered, either in chat or on the video, that you want to make sure that we cover, let us know. And then we're going to go through some of the questions that came up in chat just to make sure that we've touched on everything. We'll just go through these again just to reiterate, because if one person had these questions, chances are there are some other people in chat who also have those questions.
Wondering the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the first question that came up back in the beginning was, I think I have a badge. How do I check? Who knows the answer? It's a quiz. Which one of you wants to buzz in faster?
Oh, I thought we were going to quiz the chat. I was way more excited to quiz the chat than I was myself.
Well, so to check on that, all you have to do is just sign into your account. Click on your name at the top. It'll tell you if you have a badge. Or if you click on Get a Badge and you already have a badge, it will tell you you already got a badge. You don't need two.
There's only one badge per account.
Yep, that is it.
So I think we touched on this a little bit. Somebody was asking what we should use as a central portal to navigate Gen Con, and will Discord be used as a central hub? And I think the answer is a little bit nuanced there.
It is.
Kelsey,
so
do you want to?
Yeah, I'll go over that one. So I think that they're called the Discord the connective tissue, and I think that's a really good way to put it. So Gen Con has like a lot of muscles, right? And the Discord is the thing that connects all that stuff together. However, it's not going to be the only place you need to go. So I like to think of it as a kind of like a three, we talk about pillars a lot too, a 3-pillar approach. One, you should be using the events portal if you have any events as your central space. So if you have anything related to events, that's where you want to go. That's going to be your place to hook into, just to keep track of what's on my schedule, who do I need to talk to, what are the platforms I need to use. That's the one place you want to be if you're involved in events, or just to keep an eye on your schedule. If you want to keep an eye on what's happening in the world of Gen Con, if you want to talk to people, if you want to do a pickup game, if there are any changes, then you're trying to keep an eye on stuff. Or if you want to figure out if there's something else you want to do at Gen Con. If you're bored, there is no reason you should be bored at Gen Con Online. Let me tell you. Then swing on over to the Discord, because I think it's going to be the same experience as if you're physically at a convention and you're like talking to your friends being like, hey, what are you doing right now? I'll come find you. It's going to be that experience. And then
that's launching on Monday, right?
Yep, that is launching on Monday. And then the third piece of this, I think, is going to be the looking glass. It's going to be our exhibitors. It's going to be checking out that merch and looking at all that cool stuff. So if you're interested and you're here for Gen Con to buy cool things and check out the new product, then you want to keep an eye on our looking glass and see what our exhibitors and our vendors and our artists and our authors are doing. But depending, like we talked earlier about how broad Gen Con is, and how you could do one thing over the course of a whole weekend, essentially, and not touch any of the other pieces. And I think that can be the same thing here. So depending on what you're interested in, those are the things that you want to focus on. So I would say that you have 3 central hubs, right? Yeah, one is Discord for social stuff and keeping up to date on things you want to do. One is events if you want to keep track of your schedule and see if there's any events that you want to attend or register for. And then the third piece is the exhibitors and our vendor hall at the Looking Glass, just to make sure that you're keeping up to date on everything your favorite people are doing.
Mm-hmm. So the next question from chat was, someone was feeling a little bit behind. They didn't jump right in when Gen Con Online was announced or when registration opened up. Are all the events sold out now? Is there nothing left to do?
There's so many. There is so many.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say again, like we showed this before, but if you go to look for events, you will see that some are sold out. But if you just want to filter those out and look at what still has tickets, just click on has sold out and submit, and you'll still see that there are, in each category, there's
thousands
over 1,000
of
board
events.
games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like we have over 6,000 events in the system, and it looks like 3,500 or so haven't sold out and have at least one ticket available. So that does mean that like 2,500 have sold out, but there's still plenty that have some space. So there's still plenty of things to go and check out. There's over 1,000 board games. There's almost 1,000 RPGs. There's hundreds of card games, other events, entertainment events, things like that to check
There's
out.
just one LARP. Go sell them out. It's the only one left.
Oh shit. So if you're just kind of getting into Gen Con now, there is still plenty to do.
Oh, yep. I think the next question was, someone was asking if it is too late to submit an event or an RPG game to our events list.
Yeah, and again, as the representative of the event department, I would say basically, yeah. Our deadline was July 20th to guarantee that we would have time to actually look at stuff and activate it or whatnot before Gen Con Online actually happens. So in general, I would say it's too late to submit your stuff. The only exception I would really kind of put out there for people to strongly consider is that if you want to run another session of a game or event that is currently sold out, either because you were running the original one or because you wanted to play in the original one maybe and it's sold out and you want to run it to share that experience with other people, those are ones that we would kind of prioritize trying to deal with before the show, because we want to maximize people's chances to play exciting things.
Correct.
There was another question about events as to whether there are any generic tickets, because that's a common way that people at the physical convention kind of engage with Gen Con. You'll buy some generic tickets. These are tickets that you can spend. They're like carnival tokens. All of our events have a price. You'd have generic tickets that equal that price, and you'd get in if there's an available seat. That's very helpful at the physical convention, so you don't need to go to registration, buy a ticket, and come back. But all events for Gen Con Online are electronically ticketed, which means that if you find a new game that you want to play instead of the game you already signed up for, you just refund the game you've signed up for and sign up for the new game. Up to 30 minutes before the game starts, you can just refund it, hop to another game, and play in that one instead. You just need to buy a ticket for that new game. So there are no generic tickets you need to worry about. Just register directly for what you want to play.
Someone else asked, actually it's the same person asked, will there be exhibitors? Oh man, there are. If you haven't heard me talk about how excited I am about Looking Glass and about how important Looking Glass is, if you are interested in games, gaming, art, artistry, generally nerd stuff, the Looking Glass is definitely here. You're definitely going to be able to support your favorite companies, artists, and authors. And some of them might be giving away free stuff. So basically, when you check out Looking Glass, there's going to be a little info, kind of like an info bubble. And many of them include information about the most important things that they are doing for that event. And you're going to want to check individually, just like at a real con, to see if any of them are giving away any free stuff or doing anything super cool that you want to check out. But don't worry, there are definitely a lot of merch and a lot of specials that I see artists are doing already.
And then we have a question about Discord again. And not that anybody has missed that link. It's not that we hide it from you and you have to pass some sort of escape room test before you're permitted in.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I love that.
The Discord will just be launching to the public on Monday. So the link will go up then, and then you can kind of join in there, and you'll have a few days to navigate and get oriented before you have to dive in during the show itself.
You actually, there's an escape room to leave Gencon's Discord. So get ready for that. We're actually keeping you forever.
I see you furiously writing notes, so that's a great idea. So let's implement it in time for Sunday.
Discord escape room.
So there's also a question of if you encounter harassment, either from another player, another attendee, your GM, your players, whatever, how do you report it? What should you do?
So if you have any issues during your experiences, whether it be at an event or with another player or in our Discord or in our Twitch stream, we are here for you. We 100% have your back and have your support. Making sure this con is as safe as possible is a priority for us, for sure. Mm-hmm. It's something that we talk about a lot. So the best place for us to access instant help is actually our Discord. We have a whole customer service section there, a whole help section there, and we have mods that are there to help you, as well as our Gen Con staff as well. Mm-hmm. Yep. If you are unfamiliar with Discord or you're unsure what to do, or if it's something that happened someplace where you're not sure, we can help you. First of all, ping us on Discord, but if you can't, email customer service. We are still looking at our customer service inbox, but that Discord chat is going to be the equivalent of basically coming to see us at a help desk. Mm-hmm. So make sure you check us out. Make sure you still get a Discord name, even if you aren't planning on doing the social stuff, just so we can help you if you do need help. And that also includes event help as well.
Yep.
A next one is, how do you access Looking Glass?
So on Thursday at noon Eastern, go to that gencon.online and it will be there. You'll see it in all of its glory. So we just can't access it yet, but it will be there Thursday at noon.
Who's going to make the countdown? Who's going to make the countdown clock to Looking Glass and then Gen Con Online going live?
Well, we have the clock
a daily countdown
here
on the website
where it threatens us with 6 days.
Ooh, 6 days.
And then the final question we had from chat was somebody who is very excited about Gen Con Online is doing some research for an overview that they're going to prepare themselves, apparently. Is this the first Gen Con Online?
It is.
Super is. Yeah.
You are all part of this grand experiment with us. We do a physical convention every year, and we do it pretty well, if I do say so myself. But this year, since that was not possible, we had to figure out what else to do because we couldn't all just sit around twiddling our thumbs. So, so we designed Gen Con Online in the last, 8 weeks.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Some really short amount of time. We have put this convention together for you. We're super proud of it. We are so excited that so many of you are on board with us. I think we hit 26,000 people or something today-ish, around there. So we got a lot of people who are excited to be part of this with us. And who knows, if it's something that people love, maybe it's something that will continue in the future.
I'm certainly not looking forward to having done all this work and then not using it.
And then never doing it again. Just being like, well, that was fun.
Yep.
We talked about earlier today, if you enjoyed Gen Con Online, if you're excited about this, if this is something you want to see again, please talk to us about it. We want to make sure this is something that you want. If this is something you want to see, we want to do it for you. This is about creating something for you, not for us. Because ultimately, we'll make something either way. We want to make something that you want to use. Yeah. So please talk to us. Please tell us what you love, what you don't love, so we can make this a great thing, a great tool for us for the future.
Yeah, we'll have surveys going out after the show like normal. I think we'll also have some surveys up in Discord. So please give us your feedback, because we have never done this before. And so we need to know what you liked and what you didn't. And thanks for being along for the ride, people.
It's a good ride.
A thing that I would say about it being a first time for Gen Con Online is that that comes with a couple different things that I think it's going to be helpful for people to keep in mind. One is it's a first time for us. It's probably a first time for a lot of you. It's a first time for a lot of our publishers, our partners, people who are running events. It's going to be a first time for a lot of people. So extend as much patience as you can to not just us, but the people who are running the game, the people who are playing in the games with you. If you know how to use a platform and your GM doesn't, try to be helpful and give them tips. Let them run their game, but help them out when they need it. Help other players out when you need it. But also have patience with yourself. If this is the first time that you're playing a lot of these games online, understand that your turn's going to take longer to go. You might make mistakes. You might misplay during a game. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You're here to have fun. And sometimes that means you're just going to have to accept that this is new and it's not going to go exactly maybe how you envisioned it in your mind.
Yeah, when we say 2020 roll with it, we really mean it. So we appreciate your patience and kindness. Since Shin Basil Games said patience, kindness, and gratitude, like that's a great way to look at this experience. And this community has always been exceedingly kind and exceedingly thoughtful to each other. And so I think this is the time to bring out the best of ourselves to make sure we're all having a good time.
And I think the flip side of it does kind of highlight that best side of things, in that this is the first time lots of people are going to have to engage with Gencon because they never could attend before. It was too expensive. It was too far away. It was at the wrong time of year. There's a dog. Sure, yeah, the dog can finally attend. So there's just this is a chance for Gencon to expand to new horizons and let new people in. So I think we should embrace that and try to help as many people as possible. Like some people in chat, this is going to be their first Gen Con. So it's going to be first for a lot of us in a lot of ways. So make the most of it.
Sweet. I'm excited now.
All right. I think that is it for questions. Any kind of closing thoughts that either of you have that we haven't had a chance to kind of address?
I would just say that, to wrap up what you said, Gen Con has always been a time to share what you're excited about with other people. And Gen Con has always been about that infectious kind of happiness that we all have when we're playing games together. And that is something that we have a chance to share with a way broader audience than we normally do.
Yep.
So be excited. Try something new. We can do it from the comfort of our own homes for once. I'm secretly, the lower half of me is in pajamas. You could do the same thing. It's great.
I don't have to adjust to a time change this year.
You don't, but since I am in charge of a lot of events, I still have
to.
You do, yeah. Travel. Yeah, that's the curse of living on the West Coast.
All right,
but I believe that's about it. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us for this information stream. I hope that it answered some folks' questions. If anybody does have any continuing questions, reach out to Kelsey on Twitter at Gen_con, and they will get you situated. Our streaming schedule, we usually have lots of stuff running during the week. This coming week, for reasons that are probably understandable, is going to be a little bit disrupted. So instead of our normal schedule on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, we will have Board Games with the Brothers Murph, where they're going to play a game. After that, we will rerun one of these overview videos that we've done. And then on Tuesday, we're going to rerun an overview video, and then we'll rerun all the videos that are about how to play board games online. So if you want to, get if you want to get a run through of how the board games work, you can watch it then. We'll cap it off with another rerun of an overview. Wednesday, we'll do the same thing with an overview sandwich. And then in the middle will be all the platforms about running RPGs online. Yep. These videos are all on YouTube as well, so you're certainly welcome to go there. But if you kind of want to catch up on it with people in chat that maybe you can talk to and figure things out, we'll have the reruns running Tuesday and Wednesday. And then remember that Gen Con TV, Gen Con Main Stage, and Gen Con Studio will all have content running starting Thursday at noon, ending Sunday at 8 p.m. with the whole show. So there'll be lots and lots of stuff to watch over the weekend if you want to kind of tune in and have gamer TV running nonstop even before you
Non-stop.
consider other partners and publishers that are going to have their own streams going and whatnot too.
I can't wait to see people's pictures of like their 7 screens set up
Oh
where
my
they've
God,
got
yeah.
like Twitch, like 3 screens of Twitch, and they've got Fantasy Network going, and they're doing an event here, and they're chatting in Discord here. And
I literally bought another monitor for this convention.
It's always been a dream of mine to be that guy with like the 6 monitor setup.
Oh yeah.
Thing. Absolutely no reason to justify it, but I still
dreams can
It
come
can be a
true,
dream.
Derek. Come true next week.
So again, next week is Gencon Online. Join us for that. Remember to follow all 3 of our Twitch channels so that you're up to speed on stuff. If you've missed anything, it's up on YouTube. Otherwise, go through the events, get ready, get excited, and come join us.
We'll see you
See
next
for
week.
opening ceremonies less than a week from now. Oh my God.
All righty. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks to the 2 of you for joining us. Thank you to Marcus for producing it, and we will see you again soon.
Bye.